Business Today is brought to you by...
We start with a yes. But when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel to anywhere. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
This is Business Today. I'm Ryan Jilts. The spate of violent crimes may have subsided somewhat, but one economist is warning that the country must stay on top of the problem. Former Central Bank of Barbados economist Carlos Fort tells Business Today any crime could negatively impact the country's vital tourism industry. Ford, who is a senior economist at the Ontario Ministry of Finance, says he's concerned about what appears to be a general increase in disorderly behaviour. He warns that if it's left unattended, it could lead to social and economic decay. He stressed the need for a concerted effort to arrest the problem and said it must start with those in charge.
People look on at that. They take the view that the big ups, as we would say, they get away with certain things. And, those at the lower end of the spectrum may feel emboldened to do what they believe they can get away with as well. This all is symptomatic of what appears, and I'm not trying to be alarmist by any measure, if not addressed or remediated, a trend that could lend itself to not just the social decay of the country, but economic decay. If these violent crime situations go unabated, and particularly if more tourists are affected by them, of course it could have an adverse impact on our tourism industry, which is leading our recovery right now, and we wouldn't want to see that threatened.
The CAROM Single Market and Economy, CSME, has been given a major boost. On Monday, officials launched 4 online platforms aimed at advancing the CSME movement and facilitating trade and the ease of doing business in CARICOM. These platforms include an online companies registry, a CARICOM public procurement notice board, a labour market information system, and a rapid alert system to inform the 15-member block of dangerous goods. The online portal falls under the CSME and Regional Sectoral Policies Program, which is the largest component of the integration program being funded under the 10th EDF to the tune of just over €19 million. Addressing the launch ceremony, EU representative for the region Stephen Boyce said the systems, when used effectively, had significant benefits to CARICOM.
A dynamic labour market information system is critical to the realisation of free movement of people in the region. It not only informs on the current state of the labour market and identifies potential for emerging new-collar jobs, as we call them now, but also sends signals to the educational system, which helps to meet market demand through academic, technical and professional development programs designed to build and repurpose those already in the workforce and those about to enter. The regional platform for online companies registries data will provide exchange gateways to the regional registry and help to improve the environment for doing business in the region. The Community Public Procurement Notice Board will facilitate the exchange of information on procurement opportunities and contract awards in a fully functioning and integrated CSME procurement market. The Community Public Procurement Notice Board will allow those in the private sector to better strategize and capitalize on what may have been previously lost opportunities.
Deputy CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Manorma Suknandan said besides the CSME integration, a number of strides have been made in advancing regional and sectoral policies. These, she said, included harmonization of some processes and procedures, several consumer protection studies, as well as the finalization of the harmonized CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill. In addition, she said about 14 projects totaling US $3.5 million were approved through the CARICOM Standby Facility and administered by the Caribbean Development Bank.
Progress has been made towards establishing the macroeconomic environment relating to the framework for an integrated capital market, with the completion of the draft policy, which is ready for consideration by COFA, that's the Council for Finance and Planning, and the draft regulations relating to cross-border activities in the securities market. The regional deposit insurance system, the draft policy is also ready for consideration by COFA. And amendments have been made to the intra-CARICOM double taxation agreement.
The Caribbean Development Bank has offered an emergency relief grant of US $200,000 to Dominica to assist with costs associated with damage assessments and the provision of transportation of emergency supplies. At the same time, the bank says the hurricane-ravaged island is eligible to receive an immediate response loan of up to $750,000 at highly concessionary terms to support the clearing and cleaning of areas damaged by Hurricane Maria. The Barbados-based financial institution says in a release that it is also fast-tracking a grant of $150,000 for SEDEMA, that's the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency. Now for today's financial tip. When you are conducting business overseas, it's important to identify the currency preference of your industry. If you insist on billing in US dollars, for example, but your customers favor their local currency, you run the risk of losing business to a competitor who appeals to local preferences. That's been business. Join us again on Thursday. Until then, you can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook. I'm Ryan Jones.